Good evening, Grinders. Welcome to Sunday Showdown Live. I'm Jordan Cooper, aka Blender Ed, also producing the show. So I gotta switch cameras and set everything up. And I'm joined by Keith Eister, Eyes819, the guy that you can't find on Twitter, so it doesn't matter. So don't even bother. But he's probably doing better than me in the main slate. Has a little bit of a sweat over probably on FanDuel. Are you sweating over on FanDuel in the main slate?
I've got a late afternoon on FanDuel that's up there in the top with Russ and Lockett still going. Unfortunately, it looks like DK Metcalf just put the hammer on that.
So what?
It,
Russ threw 5 touchdowns today.
I believe so.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't have enough of him, so that doesn't matter. I'm not sweating anything. I'm sweating. Hopefully I don't lose any more money. That's.
Should have had 6, but Lockett let them hit the other one out of the back of the end zone.
Well, that was Metcalf.
So.
That right.
Not Metcalf. Yeah. Sorry. Yep.
Okay. Well, we're gonna make our money back on Showdown, and this is I've not experienced as disgusting of a Showdown slate. It's not a bad game, Packers Saints, but on DraftKings, like this. Whoever wins Showdown is going to find whoever does well in the cheap range. Like it's going to be, and you may have to play 2 of them. And it's going to be whoever. If Jay Sternberger has a touchdown, you win because you can't build lineups without. I mean, like with the pricing the way it is. I mean, the main guys are Kamara and Jones, and then the 2 quarterbacks. But Kamara and Jones are 11K plus. Rodgers is 11K. Drew Brees is nearly 10K. And yeah, the receivers are kind of in the the 5 to 6K range, but like you can't stack them because you're spending too much money. I mean, like you can't, if you try to build a passing stack, you can't have a Kamara if you're building a Packers passing stack. If you're playing a Drew Brees passing stack, you can't have Aaron Jones in your lineup, pretty much. So how are you attacking this? For large field GPPs, I think in cash games you're probably just going to try to jam in, the quarterbacks and the running backs as much as you can. You probably have to leave one of them out. Kamara makes sense as the captain, but how do you build lineups without using like Robert Tonyan and Deontay Harris and Malik Taylor?
Yeah, I'm finding myself way more exposed to kickers than I usually am. Don't feel great about that, but like you said, there isn't a lot of options. So
right, because I think you have to use because okay, let's go over like Michael Thomas is out, but we've had a showdown with the Saints, so like they don't really change much other than the pricing, other than Traquan Smith is now 8,200. Sanders actually came down to 5,600, so they kind of flipped. We always have Taysom Hill with the gadget plays down there.
Yep.
Deontay Harris will get some three wide receiver set type of snaps. Latavius Murray will come in and get some touches. And then we obviously have like the Josh Hills and the Dwayne Washingtons, Marquez Callaways, Ty Montgomerys, like that type that you can't count on that. The Green Bay side I think is even worse.
Yeah.
Like
it's a mess.
Like who like in 3 wide receiver sets, Malik Taylor's 200. How is he? I mean, we have him projected as 14% owned, but how do you make lineups without him?
Yeah. I don't know. You said we had a Saints showdown already, and I completely faded Taysom Hill on that showdown because I'm like, he has to score a touchdown to get there, and that was the case. He did get a goal line carry and got stuffed at that half-yard line, or I would have been completely buried on that one. But tonight, I think you have to use him almost, and just hope that he gets there with a touchdown, and that's the only way he's going to get there. But I do have some Taysom Hill tonight, and he's not someone I typically play on these.
Yeah, but you're not playing, but you're also playing Deontay Harris. I mean, there's guys down there
right
that still rely. When you're playing a guy in that range, a touchdown could get you there. So it could be Mercedes Lewis. I mean, Green Bay could run more 12 personnel. Play it's going to be Tanyan, Lewis, and who else? Who's their third tight end? I don't even know.
Sternberger.
Sternberger, yes. Yeah. And then we have Robert Foster signed with the Packers, but he's not in the player pool, so you can't use him. I think to me, truthfully, this may sound weird. I think the key to the slate is Jamal Williams.
If he scores, that's going to be a problem for me.
And I think people don't realize that, like, even though Aaron Jones is like the focus of their offense with Adams out, like Jamal Williams
gets
is
plenty of
on the field
opportunity.
40% of the time.
Yep.
So like I'm not making a rule that like I'll have Jones and Williams like together. He's 2,000. It's not just like on the other Showdown slate. I had Murray and Kamara together because they're under 3K and they have touchdown upside.
Yeah, and that correlation particularly, I mean, I'm basically viewing Kamara as a slot receiver in addition to a running back. I mean, the guy's going to catch somewhere between 5 and 10 passes tonight. So Kamara, to me, like, you just play him. He's incredibly owned, but you can't get away from him because he's going to have so many opportunities tonight. You have to have Kamara. And I'm not, in that same realm, I'm not afraid to play Murray with him because at times they're going to be on the field together playing different positions.
Right, and I think this is a rare Showdown slate that you don't have to play a quarterback.
I agree.
Like
in fact, I was delayed a little bit in getting on because I was trying to get Breeze out of my lineup so much. Like the optimizer just keep wanting to jam Breeze, and I was like, no, I want the running game. I want Kamara and Murray more than I want Breeze.
But I think there are ways with the wide receiver pricing being in the 6K range for receivers to get there, make value without touchdowns. You know, Breeze throws for 1 touchdown and 250. Rodgers throws for 1 touchdown and 250. But like the 3 other touchdowns are all rushing, or all Jones and Kamara, or Murray or Williams, and you could sit there. You could legitimately play a captain wide receiver and the quarterback
not in the
flex, right?
Yeah.
Which is typically a rule I don't do.
Same, yeah. I mean, I would never play a receiver without his quarterback.
Right, but this is the type of game
in Showdown,
with the pricing the way it is.
You could. Yeah, you could. Especially with the Saints also having the angle where Taysom Hill could come in. Taysom Hill could throw for 1 and run for 1 and catch 1 if we're being, I mean.
He could come in for Breeze and throw 300 yards too. I mean, it could happen.
Yep. It's a weird one for sure. I kind of like it, to be honest.
I'm more on Emmanuel Sanders than Traquan Smith because of recency bias.
Yeah, you're correct. He completely bombed on a primetime game last time.
He's cheaper. The last game he was 8,800. It was ridiculous. I don't want to pay that.
Old. He's old. That's he might just be washed and terrible. Like he's probably not going to drop 3 passes. I'll give you that. He had some terrible drops on the last slate. He probably won't do that again, but I'm just not sure how much of a part of the offense that he is.
Someone brought it up in chat, in the YouTube chat. Feel free to hit the thumbs up button if you're there. Breeze has amazing stats at home, though. So does that make a difference to you that they're playing in the dome?
Yeah.
No,
it doesn't. I want all the Kamara. Kamara and Murray for me over Breeze in the passing game.
Here's another interesting question because we're going over construction types. Do you think this could be one of those rare slates that a cheaper captain wins because you're jamming in all the points of all the expensive guys?
I don't think that would be why. I could see a Latavius Murray captain getting there if he vultures 2 touchdowns from Kamara and Kamara doesn't get there. Jamal Williams, same thing. If he takes 2 touchdowns from Aaron Jones and Aaron Jones isn't optimal, I could see Williams captain getting there. But
what happens if all the raw points are with those expensive? I'm not suggesting to do this. I try to think of when you can't, like, if you play Jamal Williams or Latavius Murray in your captain spot, you could play both quarterbacks and both running backs.
Yeah.
So like you're getting, like, if the ball's spread out enough and the captain gets 2 touchdowns, like, yes, Aaron Jones doesn't hit a ceiling, but he still has 16 points, and that still beats out the receiver. It still beats out everyone.
Yep.
The quarterback may only have 18 points, but it still beats out everyone. And as long as you get 18 points out of your captain, That maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a couple weeks back about how we never do that, but this is a slate where I could see that being more viable than it has been.
Or you could play the under angle. I know the total in this game is 52. You play both offenses are just three and outing, and maybe I'm not saying a DSD captain, but you play one of those mishmash lineups where it's one of the receiver captains, MVS, Lazard, Smith, Cook, Sanders, something like that, and then play like a defense kicker, and the game is 17 to 10. Because no one's going to play that angle. I mean, people are going to be jamming in.
Oh yeah,
The captain ownership's going to be nuts. That's why I think people are going to think they're being sneaky by taking Malik Taylor, and I think they're not.
yeah. I mean, we've never seen it from him before. So for him, I mean, he's projected for 14, probably comes in closer to 20, and we've never seen him catch
a pass ever.
Yeah, I'm not with the Packers. Definitely not.
Yeah, but that's what they're running with. I mean, essentially, they're running with four wide
Yeah.
receivers, and one of them isn't in the player pool.
Yeah.
If you had a choice, if you're attacking the Green Bay passing game, would you prefer? I mean, to me, I look at MVS and Lazard as like I could play either in the captain spot. Like it's
Yep.
I don't care. I can't see stacking the captain with the quarterback unless it's an onslaught.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going 4-2 Green Bay, I could see that.
Well, you're not playing Kamara in that lineup. You can't afford it, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's ways. It's
There's
disgusting.
not good ways.
But
There are ways. Of course, there are
No.
ways.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about probably playing like a Josh Hill or AJ Dillon or something like that. So yeah. I mean, it's not something I did a ton.
Right, because I'm looking at it now. Like I'm going to try to do this in the lineup builder. Put Rodgers a captain, and then you take MVS, then you take Lazard. And
No. I'd play the wide receiver at captain.
Oh no, I was talking about playing the quarterback at captain for an onslaught.
No. I'm not playing any Rodgers or Breeze captains. I have 5%, I think, of each in the captain. But yeah, no, those lineups, it gets really you run out of money in a hurry.
Oh, you could play here. I got a lineup: Rodgers a captain with MVS, Lazard, and Malik Taylor, and then Kamara and Taysom Smith. But I mean,
That's probably one of the 5 I have.
right? But I mean, just understand when you put the quarterback a captain, you need the Packers to put up 35 points in this game. Like this is like it has to be an onslaught. I think I'm more likely because Malik Taylor is so cheap, or like Sternberger. I think they have more cheaper options. That I'm more likely. I mean, I don't play quarterback captains typically unless they're cheap, and Aaron Rodgers is 11,000, so I'm not doing it.
Yep.
I'm more likely to just play MVS and Lazard in the captain spot.
Yeah, I agree with
But you
that.
don't get any
Definitely.
kicker captains. We're not playing kicker captains.
No.
Do
Nope.
you ever do that? I've never made a lineup with a kicker captain.
Never with a kicker. I have used a defense very rarely, but occasionally I've used a defense.
NY Jets 1250 in the YouTube chat. Any interest in Taysom in the captain? I think you're nuts if you do that.
Yeah, agree. No way.
You're gonna play a
You're,
guy
you're
that has
hoping
8
that
snaps.
he falls in. Yep. I mean, you're playing him at what is it, 2,200, 1,800, just hoping that he falls into the end zone.
Yeah, but at the captain spot, you need to do that twice.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I did not do that once.
Right. How about the backup running? How about someone like Tyler Irvin? Like I have none of that.
Nope.
I mean, this is one of the AJ Dillon. Like you have to. That's an injury. You have to root for an injury essentially.
Well, I mean, the Packers have. That's part of the problem is they've spread out their backfield. Dylan has gotten like 4 or 5 carries every both weeks. I guess he got 2 in week 1 and 5 last week. Tyler Irvin got 3 in week 1 and 0 last week. He did get a target in each week though.
Yeah, but that's a bet on falling in the end zone.
Yeah. All they do is cut into Aaron Jones' upside is the problem here.
That's why you play them together.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be more recency bias with the last game that Aaron Jones' ownership is going to be higher than you? That's why, like to me, like Jamal Williams, like you play Williams over Jones, And then you play like the Saints get to a lead type of game where
Yeah,
where Jamal
that's
Williams has
exactly.
to be in for pass blocking, like like that type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, recently we've seen Aaron Jones run a lot of routes, though. I hate that he exploded last week because I think this is an Aaron Jones game, and I have a ton. And I think he can get there in the game in my preferred game script as well. I think the Saints win this game, and I think Rodgers is going to be throwing to Jones because he has no one else to throw to. So I have a ton of Aaron Jones with Aaron Rodgers, which is not typically something I like to do.
Right. You're just
Playing
hoping
the
that you're
running
not
back
getting
one with the
production out of the
quarterback.
wide receivers.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Kamara's going to be chalky, and the captain, Rashad asks, who you guys' favorite
Yeah.
captain? That could be a sneaky smash. As always, I preclude these types of questions with it depends on your construction. It's not like I don't fill out the captain first. I'm like, what type of construction works? Uh, I, 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 Kamara
It,
is the optimal captain,
for sure.
but I think that on this slate, nearly any Kamara captain lineup is duped.
Definitely. Yep.
I think you
It,
can't. I think you cannot get a unique lineup with Kamara on the captain.
yeah.
I mean, you can. You can if you leave 12,000 on the table and you're playing Mercedes Lewis and Adam Troutman and
And they both score.
right and Josh Hill and they both right. Yeah, there are ways to make unique, but not like not in any
Yeah.
sense of the word.
I mean, I would need 400, 500 lineups before I get to something like
Right,
that.
right. So we're still talking about a Kamara lineup that even if you leave 5,000 on the table off the table,
Duped.
it's going to be duped.
Yep.
Right, and I think you could say the same with Aaron Jones as well.
Yep.
Because just the context of the slate, just they're priced where you're gonna have to jam in cheap guys that barely gonna get any points.
Yep. So my answer to the question would be: you look at the Green Bay passing game, which I'm mostly fading. I mean, not mostly. I have plenty of Lazard and MVS, but I think one of those guys in the captain has the best chance to catch 2 touchdowns and get you there as a lower owned captain. So I would look at the Green Bay passing game if I was looking for a lower owned captain.
Right, like MVS or Lazard, because I think it'll be spread
Yep.
out. I think the receiver captain lineups will be spread. I mean, I don't see. I think maybe Traquan Smith maybe a little bit higher than the other guys. That's why I'm
Yeah,
leaning
but
more towards Sanders.
yeah, I mean, you figure Kamara's going to be 25% owned in the captain, and Breeze and Rogers are probably going to be
10,
15.
10
Yep,
ish.
10, 15.
Right,
Yep.
Aaron Jones will probably be 18 or something.
Yeah. So I mean, there's not much left. So Lazard, Scantling, and Emmanuel Sanders are probably under owned for their chances to hit the ceiling that you need.
Well, Keith Evans says in the chat, boy, the line of New Orleans -3 and 52 screams shootout over running. Well, good thing you don't play Showdown based on the probable outcome. You build lineups based on improbable outcomes, so you could be a unique lineup that wins $500,000. I
That's
mean,
right. Yeah.
like, yes, the most probable outcome is a 52 total game. It goes, 30 to 27, and cheap Josh Hill with 3 points doesn't win you anything, right? Like you're gonna need to score enough, but you're also going to be duplicated 137 times. So yeah, if you're playing double ups, yeah, sure, fine. Jam in Kamar and your captain and have fun. But if you're trying to win these 160,000 entry contests, you got to get a little bit frisky. That's why Eric Johnson's like any kicker's a captain. Like no, not that frisky. It's just so rare that a kicker is the highest scoring player on the slate.
Yeah.
Does Taysom correlate better together with Breeze or paired instead with a pass catcher? Why are we worried about Taysom Hill correlation?
Yeah, neither. He's his own individual. He's a running back, and I mean, in my builds, that's how I played him.
Right, because Breeze could throw
Like,
him the ball, right?
yeah, he could, but I'm just going off. Maybe this is recency bias, but literally the last Showdown slate, they gave it to him when they were sitting on the 1 yard line, and he almost got a 1 yard rushing touchdown.
Yeah, but that's
Like
negatively correlated to Breeze, so I mean Breeze didn't get points.
yeah, correct. Yeah, that's I would play him as a running back.
Okay, I'm not playing him at all.
And
Taysom
yeah,
is always overowned. He's always overowned. Zero. I just zero him out. No, X amount.
What's our projection on him this week? I agree with you usually. I don't think
He's
I've ever played him.
redacted. Jamino has him dashed out. He doesn't even want to give
He
him a
is.
projection.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we see him at probably
20?
20%. Yeah.
Right. That's how, for someone that's maybe on the field 6 times.
He 1.8.
I'll play Jamal Williams.
And you need salary. Yeah. I mean,
I'll play Deontay Harris.
I think Jamal Williams and Taysom Hill are the same play. How's that?
No, Jamal Williams will be on the field for Jamal Williams will get 20 to
Yeah, but
25 snaps.
value of touches. Taysom's going to get 2 goal line carries.
No, not necessarily. Jamal Williams gets a swing pass, 70-yard touchdown. What's wrong with that? Well, that could happen.
Could. I like Taysom to score over Jamal.
Okay, anytime Showdown.
That's the only reason I'm playing Taysom is for touchdown equity.
Of course, that's the only reason you should play.
Give the guy the ball near the goal line. That's it.
I'll play Latavius then instead. I'll give him the ball.
They didn't
goal line.
Go to Latavius. I played a ton of Latavius last showdown with the Saints, and then I watched him give it to Taysom on the goal line.
They were down.
Mm-hmm. No, I've got a ton of Murray too, so I'm covered on both of those.
Right, but I mean we're talking about the garbage end of the player pool. I mean, yeah. Do I want to pay $2,400 for Jay Sternberger? No, I don't. Right? What's the difference between him and Mercedes Lewis? Is there anything? Is there any difference?
No.
Robert Tonyan's going to be on the field more.
I would much rather play Taysom than either of those. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they're lower owned. I can't play a 20% owned guy that's only seen like the field 4 times.
Got Tonyan for 20% ownership.
Right.
Sternberger I can get on board with.
The chat thinks you're trolling me. That's what the chat thinks. He's like, you got to be kidding me. Is this dude being serious? We're very the last Showdown show because with the Saints, I was like zero Taysom also against the Raiders.
I was right with you.
Oh, okay. But now you're not.
I'm not. I'm not when I've seen a goal line touch.
I'll take Marquez Callaway at 1% instead of 20% Taysom.
He can be on the field for one play exactly and get there. But
all of these guys can. But all of them, you're describing all of these people.
Okay, so I get your Sternberger angle. He's 2% owned and Taysom's 20% owned.
That's
but
it.
I'm talking. I agree with you on that.
If Taysom was 6% owned, I'd be playing him.
12% Sternberger, but I'm still going to play Taysom too.
Okay.
Because I need one of them to score to get to the optimal lineup. And I would much rather play him over a 20% owned Robert Tonyan at 2.2.
Yes. No, I agree. No, that I would agree with at least. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
But Sternberger and Lewis, I see your angle there. Josh Hill, even, I see your angle. He's $800 and 3% owned. I totally see your angle there.
Right. Adam Troutman. Who cares?
Yep.
Screw it. It's the ownership. If they were all equally owned, I'd be like, yeah, Taysom is probably he has the highest value touches out of this group.
And maybe this is a difference. I'm playing 100 lineups, so I don't mind if I throw away 10 lineups with a Taysom Hill hoping he gets a touchdown. I'm playing to get the optimal lineup. That's all I care about.
Right. But I do also. But I just say screw it. If Taysom beats. I don't even want to waste those 10 lineups.
Right.
I want to make 10 other lineups.
Right. You don't want to share it with 60 people or whatever. If he does get there, and if he's 20% owned and gets there, then you're sharing it for sure. Right.
It's more likely that I'm playing a more higher duped lineup.
Yeah.
So yes, I think we both agree with each other's approach of. Like, he has the highest value touches, and you could build lineups that maybe duped 15 or 20 times, and if that's optimal, that's still a nice payday. And I look at it as if I don't have a lineup that is duped less than 15 times, I consider it a loser. Like I just put it if I'm playing 50 lineups and I see that I have 30 that are under 15, I'm like, okay, 20 lineups were wasted. And even if that wins, it's just like that wasn't my goal. My goal was to get them under 15. For these types of slates, because 15 is like maybe you $30,000, $25,000, and I'm like, okay, I'm right at the line. Like I'm not screenshotting a $1,700 439 weight die. Like it just defeats it's negative EV. That's the main reason why I don't build 100, 150 lineups. I build 50, and I try to get the least duplicated 50. And then
Yeah, makes
I
sense.
I may not cash as often or get the optimal as often, but when I do, it's like if I get it once a year, like it's a 1,000,000% ROI.
Right. Like in that scenario, I might win 10 times a year, and you might win 2 times a year, but our profitability is going to be the exact same. Like
Right.
I'm going to win a little bit 10 times, you're going to win a lot twice, and it comes out the same.
Right. All the TV guys like Green Bay except Rodney Harrison. I don't know what that means. Uh, do we
Nothing to me.
have is Darius Shepard in the player pool? I don't see him in lineup HQ.
He's not in lineup HQ for sure, so he's in 0 of my lineups. He's not on DraftKings.
He's not on DraftKings. Okay.
Nope.
We have players that are going to be there could be troll touchdowns here of people that aren't in the player pool.
Yep.
Because I definitely have interest in Robert Foster because he's
Yep.
someone he
And I
could
don't think.
on one play he could have one snap, one play, 80-yard touchdown.
Yep.
So anything
No
else?
cost.
Is there who's Michael Burton? I'm not going to play him. Is he even
Fullback.
active?
Yeah, he's their fullback. He scored. I think he scored on the last showdown, but no, I mean.
No, that was Ingold. That was the Raiders
Yeah,
fullback.
yeah, you're right.
I had Zay Jones. I called. I mean, but I just jammed. I didn't call anything. Whenever if I'm jamming in these cheap guys, if I have Marquez Callaway in one lineup, it's not because I thought he was going to score. It's just that like he's going to be. I needed a $600 guy. That's not Malik Taylor.
Oh.
So any other directions that you're going with that we may not have talked about?
We didn't talk about Deontay Harris. I don't mind that. 10%, 9%.
But would you play any of these guys
5.
together with the Taysom Hill?
No,
Are
no.
you playing any of the 2K or lower guys? Like let's take if we take maybe Taysom Hill down, are you playing two of them in a lineup?
No.
Okay,
That's.
because
I
me
mean,
neither.
the whole point of playing these guys is so you can jam in the guys at the top. Like I don't think that you want to play Breeze and Rodgers together and then have to play 2 of these cheap guys. You want to pick the side of the game that's going to score points, whichever side you think that is, and play him with his pass catchers.
Right, you don't
And
think
then,
Breeze gets there? Breeze won't get the 300-yard bonus by passing to Josh Hill and Marquez Callaway.
no, absolutely not.
Right, like obviously the other receiver, Tate Smith and Sanders will have
Yes,
yardage.
and that's the whole reason that you need to go down into this range, under 2K or around 2K, is so that you can play your favorite quarterback with his favorite pass catcher and then your favorite captain. So if you're playing Kamara and the captain, you want to play Rodgers and Valdez-Scantling coming back. You have to save money somewhere. So you're going to have to go down into this 2K range.
Right, which is why I think a lot of these cheaper players are going to be higher on than what we have currently projected. And that's
Yep.
the main reason I'm not playing any Kamara in the captain. So, yes, he's the most optimal captain, but it's gonna be duped. So I'll play the receivers. I play the receivers. I'll play onslaughts with Aaron Rodgers because I think it's just more of a unique build. Like I think you could play Malik Taylor in an Aaron Rodgers onslaught, and you could not even play Kamara in that lineup. You could play just 2 of the receivers. You could play Traquan Smith and Emmanuel Sanders. Something like that. Yes, it's less likely. You're like looking at me like, yeah, I know it's not as good as playing Kamara. But then that
No.
lineup, I run it through the ownership formula, and it's like, oh, that's going to be duped 34 times. I'm like, I can't play it.
Yep. No, I totally understand. I mean, I've listened to you for a long time, so I know exactly how you play.
Right,
Like,
right. I play very differently than.
Yeah, you don't care if you find the optimal lineup.
Right, I don't.
I
Right,
play
I don't.
100 lineups just to try to find the optimal lineup, and I hope that it's not split 150 ways when I find it.
Right. Me, I just try
But-
to find 50 lineups that are going to be least
That are
duped,
different.
and then I hope that's the optimal lineup.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Right, because I'll go through with the correlate. It's like that's why some slates, I'm like, this may be a non-correlated, low-scoring slate, and I'm like, well, I'm unhooking quarterbacks from captain wide receivers, and if this game goes like 13-10, like there's going to be 95% of lineups that are dead because You have way too
Yep.
much. One player did well and the other player dudded because, like, the quarterback only threw for 165 yards. So, like, you ain't getting there.
Yep. I mean, there's no better place to do it than on an NFL Showdown slate because it's one NFL game. Literally anything can happen.
Right. We
Anything.
could have two pick sixes.
Yep.
You play Packers in the captain. You play Saints in the flex. But at that point, you don't play both kickers. Like, you get to some point where there's going to be production in the game. It's not going to be three and out the
Well, yeah.
entire game.
Well, you play the Packers captain D for a pick six, and then the Saints offense, the Saints passing game coming back trying to catch up.
Right. Because people look at that as a negative correlation when it's actually a positive correlation.
Yeah.
For the ceiling, because people go, well, how about points allowed? It's like, I'm going for pick sixes. Like, the Packers captain, the defense captains can't win unless they score a touchdown, which then
or
gives
two.
the ball back to the other team.
Correct. Yep. So you got to play the offense of the other team coming back against them.
Right. So typically in defense captain lineups, I'll play defense captain, I'll play the workhorse running back in flex, and then I'll play 4 players from the other
Against
team.
them.
Right.
Yep.
Including the quarterback. And I'll play quarterback and 3 wide receivers or something. And to a lot of lay people, it looks like a stupid lineup, but no, that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
Who's more likely to throw a pick this game, Breeze or Rodgers?
They'll probably both throw one. I mean,
Well, with the narrative, people think Breeze is washed.
yeah. I mean, I think that Breeze is the one that people will play less. I think Rodgers will be higher on than Breeze. I don't know what we have him at, but
People thought Brady was washed, and he didn't do that bad today.
yeah, he looked good.
So if you'd like to post questions, we got 3 minutes until lock in the YouTube chat. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, hit the button. Just move your mouse around and click around, and it does stuff. It helps us out, I guess. Play double defense, double kicker. Yeah, Eddie Del Toro. Yeah, right. Don't play Malik Taylor in the captain. Don't do that.
No.
I mean, I guess there is a world where he gets 100 yards, right? For
I
200.
suppose they don't have anyone else. But
Right.
I'm going to bet on it being Aaron Jones.
Well, I'm going to bet on it not being Malik Taylor. Because let's say, okay, I'm just going to do this in my, because I didn't make any lineups like this. So, like, what happens if you do put Malik Taylor in the captain?
Can you play everybody?
You have the average remaining salary of $99.40. So essentially you could play everyone. Essentially, like, so for that,
You got to leave one of Kamara, Jones, Rodgers out probably.
Right, Kamara, Jones, and I still have 88-33. I'd probably pick a side. Taylor's in the captain, so I want to play Rodgers. So I play Rodgers. I have Kamara, Jones. I could still play Breeze. And then I have 5,700, and there you go, Emmanuel Sanders. Beautiful. Winning lineup.
Perfect.
Malik Taylor captain with Kamara, Jones, Rodgers, Breeze, Sanders.
Might win.
No, I don't have it, so I hope it doesn't.
Neither do I.
You'll see 1% on Malik Taylor, I think.
Yeah.
Do you feel that we when you, at RotoGrinders and people that listen to like our shows, do we overestimate the intelligence in NFL Showdown of the field, or do you think because like to me it's obvious that Malik Taylor being the 3rd wide receiver for the Packers at 200 is like a clear, like if you need a cheap guy, go to him. But then you also have to realize that the general public also plays this, and they may have no clue whatsoever about Malik Taylor.
Yeah, that's where I was going. I mean, we do this daily. I know you play a ton of sports. I play a ton of sports. So we're in this every single day. NFL is already the most casual sport, and now we're talking about a Sunday night showdown. The casual play in this is enormous compared to a random day by day, like a random NBA slate. Like there are so many people in this in the big GPP that have never even heard of Malik Taylor. So yeah, I definitely think that's a factor.
There's also many people that build lineups and they go, I got to play these 4 guys, and then they just pick two
they
cheap
want to
guys
play
in the
the
bottom
stars.
they never even heard of.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Right? But I don't know if they go to
But
Malik Taylor.
No, I don't think so.
But I mean, we currently have him projected
That's why Taysom Hill is always overowned, because people see him touch the ball, and they're like, "Oh, this guy could." Basically, my argument that I was giving you is the same argument for the casual fan, which is the problem and why he's always overowned. To your point.
Right, and he gets talked about on the broadcast, right? All the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Plenty of people are always trying to hit the correct Taysom Hill game.
Random commenter is asking, how often is the captain of the winning lineup the game's high scorer? Is it always the high scoring player that has to be captain to win? Normally,
Normally.
normally it is. It depends on what the scoring of how even the scoring is with the rest of the players. That's why, like, obviously, if there's an outlier guy and he's not like 15K, like the highest scoring player typically is in the captain. I mean, look at the last showdown with the Jags and the Dolphins. You had James Robinson, the captain, and flex was a 5 spot onslaught of the other way,
Yep.
with including the defense. So like, I made lineups that were close to that, but not that. Only because I just didn't think the probability of James Robinson being the highest scoring player like led to me playing the Dolphins defense and the onslaught.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. I actually had one that popped up there that was that exact build. I think it finished 19th or something. Like there was a tie for first, and then I think it was the third or fourth optimal lineup. But it had Robinson in the captain and the Dolphins defense in the flex. And I was like, man, if I would have looked at that closer, I absolutely would have changed that lineup before I played it.
Right, because I had the similar line, but instead of the Dolphins, I had yeah, whoever.
Jaguars, or
Right, yeah.
yeah,
Can you pull up ownership and say, I want to see
yep,
this? I want to test the hypothesis of the general public on Malik Taylor's ownership.
okay, let's do it.
You have more access to it than I do.
Yep, I gotcha.
Daniel Johnson has the Saints D at 9%, waiting for that Saints pick six.
Could happen.
The best things about the defense is that it feels like you're winning right away.
Right,
Because they
because
score
you
you,
get that 10
you get
points.
15, 12 points or whatever.
Yep, yep.
10 points, 15 in the captain. You have both of them. I have a 25-point lead. Can't lose.
Kamara 80%. Aaron Jones 66%.
Kamara, how much in the captain owned?
Uh, da, 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 da. Why? I just downloaded this CSV and it's weird.
What's not showing?
24% in the captain.
Okay.
Showing 6% Malik Taylor in the captain.
Right. In the
CSV
captain?
is.
6% in the
Yeah.
captain.
That's what this CSV says. I'm not convinced that this is correct.
Really?
let me try
What
to
does he
read
say is
it.
normal ownership?
That's
Flex
the thing.
ownership.
That's why I'm saying it's not correct. It only has
Oh, just look at
like
your
it doesn't.
lineups. Just click through your lineups then.
Right.
The old-fashioned way. That's what I do.
I don't have a ton of Malik Taylor. Might take me for. Oh, I just found one. 0.4% in the captain, 5.9% in flex.
So
that's
he's way under. Oh, wow. We projected him for 14.
Yeah.
See, the general public doesn't know Malik
They
Taylor.
don't know who he is. Yeah.
Right. We probably won't know after this either when he has no catches.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill is 14.5%. Ozzy in the chat says. That's under. That's under like what I thought. Who are people playing?
Oh.
How are they getting these lineups? Are they getting more salary than me? How are they building these lineups?
Yeah. It's Kamara, Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Breeze,
But then
Lazard's
someone down
44,
here has to be owned.
Sanders 32, Cook 26, Williams 26, Traquan. There's still Latavius Murray 22 is the highest owned cheap guy, and he's not even that cheap. Was he?
No, 2,800.
Yeah, I mean that's cheap.
Tanyan? How about Tanyan?
Tanyan on the CSV showing 18%. Deontay Harris 19%.
Okay, so it's getting spread out amongst that. Hill has some ownership because you're going to have to use one of these guys in Kamara captain lineups. So it just depends which one you're using.
Crosby 19, almost 20%.
Which is fairly high for a kicker on Showdown.
Yeah, and that's what I was when we were talking about the builds. I was playing way more Crosby and Lutz than I ever wanted to. That's for sure.
Breeze is only 48% in the flex, according to chat. Yeah, if Saint Steve was 9%, like, I wish in the last Showdown, Dolphins in the flex was 2% owned. I thought that, I mean, I played like, I had him in like 6 or 7% of my lineups, and I thought I was going to be like under I thought the defenses are typically like, I don't know, 10, 12% owned, something like that. When I saw Dolphins at 2%, I'm like, and they scored 12 points, I'm like, I wish I would have known. I would have played more of them.
Yeah. Lazard only 6.7% the captain.
Right, but I'm assuming the wide receiver captain ownership is spread out.
Yeah.
I don't see a reason why one should be that much more than any of the other
Yeah.
ones.
Cook 3.3, Traquan 3.8. I can find these guys because that's mostly who I played. Scantling 6.1, so Scantling's quite a bit over Lazard. That's kind of surprising.
How about Old Man Sanders?
See, I did not play a lot of Sanders, so that's going to be a tough one to find.
Recency, hey, he was like 8,800 last slate. Now he's 5,600, and no one wants to play him, so I'm going to play him. I have it's a bad play, but he's 5,600. Why not? Can he score more than the kickers and the defenses? Okay, I thought maybe he could do that.
That I think you can do, yeah. Let's see. I'm sure I've got one here somewhere. On the CSV, it's showing him at 32%.
Okay, that's
but I don't know. Okay.
Right. You know, it's going to be Jay Sternberger double dong game. You know, that's what's going to happen. He's going to be the captain that you need.
1.5% total. So he's not owned in the captain, I don't think.
But I think that highlights like how we both play Showdown similarly. That you're looking for the optimal, but it's not about like who's the best plays. It's like what's the best lineup construction that would be the optimal, because you could build tons of lineups that you look at and like the chances of it being the optimal is low. Like I'm not even talking about like if it's duped or not. Just like if you're gonna play a low priced guy in like the captain spot, like a low priced receipt, like let's say I played Emmanuel Sanders in the captain spot. I wouldn't also in the flex play Cook, Smith, and Breeze.
Right.
And because like I need that one wide receiver to have more
to
points
take
than
all
the
their
other
production.
to negatively correlate with the other two receivers. So yes, if the Saints win 56-0, yes, my lineup would be optimal. But like that's such an outlier that like typically when I play a wide receiver in the captain slot, I won't play more than one other pass catcher from their team.
That makes sense. Yep.
Because I mean the prices matter, but because the likelihood of if they're the high scoring wide receiver, they have 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Well, they're taking away yardage.
That means the other guys don't.
Receivers.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Which one you choose is up to you. Play whoever you want, but you're building lineups like that. Ozzy's asking, are you guys going to be live the whole game? No, of course not. We go a little bit afterwards, just for I mean,
hang
this is
out
a free
a
show.
bit.
I would say for the premium members, but no. And then I got to record. We're doing now on Mondays for the morning grind. Me and Stevie, I don't even know what the format is. Basically a review show. I'm going to look through results DB and for the morning grind podcast in the morning and see where people screwed up or see where I screwed up.
Nice. That's definitely a useful show, and I don't think that a lot of people do that enough. So that's a great idea. I don't know who came up with that, but
right. Well, similar to what I did on the pregame show, but instead of it being the pregame show, we need morning grind content because the baseball's in the playoffs, NBA is in the play. Like there's really no slates to talk about, so it's like let's do a recap and see where people. Because I always like going into results DB, especially in cash games, and looking at the low stakes cash games and go who paid the rake today, right? Because you could always feel like I could look right now, like just as a preview. I have no idea. How much ownership? Let's for the YouTube people in the chat. How much ownership did Julio Jones get? And let's just say the Millie, just like in general.
In the Millie, I think 1.7%.
Okay, Julio, who is inactive. So I'm going to go here. Do we have all? Okay, it's not even.
I'm probably low on that actually, and he wasn't expected to play like at all.
Daniel Johnson, will you be talking about the showdown slates tomorrow on that pod? I don't know. I'll have a showdown. We'll have another showdown show like this. STL Cards will be with me tomorrow night. So let's look up Julio. Oh no, not as a he didn't play. I put it in the players the users. Let's see, Julio Jones, because this is what I like looking. I like who wasn't paying attention.
Who had dead lineups before they started?
Right. Oh no, 0.12.
Wow.
Right. That surprises me also. I expected it to be like at least 1%.
Yeah.
Who else was an injured, inactive? So I'll even look at the I'll look at the double ups even. I'm just looking through it right here. Just like the $25. Now I want to look at the $5.
Kittle. Check Kittle.
Oh, Kittle. I think more people thought that he wasn't going to play anyway.
Yeah.
See, Julio was like a game time decision at least.
Yeah. We had that news early though.
Right. So let me look at $5.
I guess it was with the 10:30 or 11:30 inactive.
Okay. I don't think we have that in yet. $5 double up. No, we don't have that in yet.
If the showdown slate tonight, what's Devontae Adams' ownership? Or actually, I have the CSV right here. I can tell.
He's gonna be owned to some extent.
0.23%.
Really, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, because he had the marker
I'm surprised.
because he had the
Yeah,
red
he's
dot.
got the red O. Yeah.
Okay, and the $25 double up, Julio Jones was 0.01% owned, so basically one lineup had him in. But I could always look. I mean, I always look at. Yeah, we don't have an updated results DB, so I don't even know because I don't even think I get the afternoon games in this. Do I even get them? No, I don't even get them.
Okay.
Okie doke. So I don't know how I'm going to do the show then when it's not updated.
Yeah, hopefully it's there. Oh, you have to record that soon, right?
Right, we're going to be doing that. I can't look through because I can't see Kyler Murray or Hopkins ownership or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll need to ping someone.
Yeah, Stevie's going to have to stay up late for you.
Right. Has anyone scored in the game yet?
Nope.
Nope.
Third
Okay,
and
then my
22
lineups
for
are doing
Tuesday.
well then. My defense, my two defense lineups are winning.
Yeah. Lazard has 2 catches already.
Ooh. Okay, so we're gonna get out of here. We have another Monday Showdown live tomorrow, same time, 7:45. I'll be on with STL Cards, and as always, if I'm not uniquely on top of Showdown tonight, I hope Keith that you are, and then the people watching, and then everyone else, right? So if it's not me or you, it's everyone else. That's perfectly fine.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so until tomorrow. This was Sunday Showdown Live on RotoGrinders.com.